Now that it has been 2 million years since I graduated high school, I did some reflecting, and the things I discovered about myself were horrifying. Bro, back in high school, I was a freaking monster. I had 6 subjects, but I came with 3 workbooks, and it ain't like those workbooks had anything written in them. I used to copy homework from my friends so fast that I was convinced I had a Sharingan. But my worst habit, the thing I did the most, was skipping classes. Bro, I was so addicted to skipping class that I should have went to rehab for it. And I would have probably still skipped them rehab classes too. Sometimes me and one of my best friends would say we were going to class. Then a few minutes later, I would find ourselves at the rugby field, yapping about straight nonsense. Sometimes I had reasonable excuses for skipping class, like not doing a teacher's homework or running away from having to do an unprepared speech in front of like 37 other kids. But most of the time I was skipping because I didn't feel like pulling up. I ain't gonna lie, I was wrong for doing this, but my school was to blame for real. You see, I grew up in a place with a bunch of villages, small townships, and a whole lot of farms. Yes, there were still huge cities here and there, but it was mostly just rural areas. The schools that side were very strict and used to literally beat kids into obedience. I remember this one time when we didn't do our homework and we had to stand in a straight line and all received 5 lashes on the hand. Then when we got home, we got beat again because our bitch-ass teacher snitched that we didn't do our homework. For a place named Free State, those schools felt like slavery. So I came from that type of school. Then when I started high school, I was now in a place I was a few kilos away from. The home of opportunities, tourist attractions, and freedom. And the school I went to was super chilled. Most of the time, the teachers are not in class, we watched YouTube videos on the projector when we were done with work, they rarely checked homework, and most importantly, corporal punishment was strictly against the law, baby! So me coming from a school that felt like slavery to this new school that was the definition of freedom made me become a bit wild, a bit crazy. I didn't give a hoot because I knew they couldn't punish me. As I said, I would skip classes for fun. The worst thing about skipping class, and the thing that happened to me the most, was when you decide to skip, let's just say maths, and then your teacher decides to give a detailed overview of what is going to show up in the exam, literally going word for word, bar for bar with the exam, giving out all the answers. The worst part is that them MFs in my class would gatekeep the crap out of the information. Them guys had me begging, and I mean begging, just to know if I would face my greatest enemy till this day. Trigonometry. And when I had finally accepted my fate that I was going to get at least a level 2, they would all of a sudden want to help me out. The second worst thing about skipping class is when you skip and have nothing to do. Most of the time, I was with my friend and we'll go play soccer, record skits, go to the tuck shop just to get robbed by the tuck shop lady. Bruh, that lady would give us this look and we would end up spending 100 rand on a chicken mayo sandwich.
Man, this is some bullshit!
If we were not getting robbed by the tuck shop lady, we'll just chill at the rugby field. But sometimes the school will be on lockdown. Teachers patrolling the corridors, looking left and right, checking the bathrooms and sports fields. You could be chilling with the homies, then you hear loud ass footsteps. Then boom, your principal pulls up on some
surprise, motherfucker.
So obviously that meant no soccer, no skits, no rugby field, no shop, nothing. We would be hiding at the back of the school, out of breath and regretting why we even bunked. Cause when you got nothing to do, that 45-minute physics period feels like it took 145 minutes to finish. The third worst thing, and the thing that saved me from becoming a degenerate, was when you end up skipping class alone unintentionally. Me and my boy was so linked in that I didn't even have to say anything in order for us to skip. We just gave each other a certain look and we would automatically just skip. But this one time I couldn't find him when we were going to English, so I just assumed he decided not to pull up. So I followed suit and went to the spot I always find him when we skip class. But he wasn't there. I looked everywhere for bro, but I couldn't find him. Then it hit me. That MF didn't skip class. Dog, I spent the rest of that period looking like a lost puppy. I didn't even have data, so I was just busy calculating 1 + 1 on my phone, so it looked like I at least had a social media life. The worst part about this is when you accepted that your bro ain't coming and end up having to chill with a random ass NPC who also decided to skip class. That shit feels like torture. That experience was so bad that I decided not to skip classes again. And shit bro, that helped me a lot. I locked in at school, started doing my work, and in grade 12, I got pretty decent marks. So moral of the story, stay in class and